The following BLTV program is brought to you by O'Flaherty Law. Please enjoy.
Hi, this is Heather Jones. I'm a Wisconsin family law attorney with O'Flaherty Law, and today I'm going to do a how-to video on how to fill out Wisconsin Circuit Court Form FA-4134V. It is a request for court-ordered mediation, and you can find it on the Wisconsin Circuit Court Forms website. Just to get this out of the way, this how-to video is for educational purposes only. It is not meant to be, nor should it be taken as a substitute for legal advice. If you are running into trouble with your family law case in Wisconsin and need some help kind of untangling some of the issues presented, we strongly suggest that you consult with an experienced Wisconsin family law attorney to help you reach your legal goals. With that being said, let's jump into how to fill out this form properly. It does come with some instruction, but there's some subtleties here that we'd like to go through just to save you time and make sure that you don't get your form returned to you for not being properly filled out. Starting at the top left-hand corner of the document, you'll see a spot for the parties' names. Now, you want to stick with the title you've been using throughout your case. So if you were the petitioner or respondent, you want to keep your name on the appropriate line. If you were petitioner A or petitioner B, you want to keep your name on the appropriate line, but do make sure that you put names in this section up here in case one page of the document gets separated from the entire document. Then over on the top right-hand corner, you'll see a blank square. That is for the clerk of courts to file stamp the document when it's properly filed, so you want to stay completely out of here. Don't write anything there, don't staple it there, don't paperclip it there, just stay out of this area. That's for the clerk of courts to do their magic. Moving to the center, you'll see a spot where you put in your county. You're staying in the same county that your entire case has been in, so you should know it by now, no problem. Then, because this form is used for several different types of family law matters, you have some options here. If it's a divorce case, you'll hit marriage, you'll click there. And if it's a paternity case, you'll click this box. And also, when you're identifying the child, please use their initials, not their full name. Moving down, you'll fill out the names of the parties. And then you should also already have a case number. So you're going to want to use the same case number so everything gets to where it needs to go. Again, before we move into the body of the document, this is a request for court-ordered mediation. And mediation is a really great tool to kind of take some of the pressure off the parties. It can be extremely stressful to go into court and argue your side in front of a judge. Mediation is when you sit down with a neutral third party to kind of talk through whatever issues are presented and see if the two of you can't reach an agreement on your own. This has been found to be extremely effective because, you know, you can go into mediation and come up with a solution that you can live with, or you can go in front of a judge and get told what you're going to do. So it's really up to the parties to decide how effective mediation is going to be for them. Now, mediation doesn't mean that you get everything your own way the whole time, and neither does going to court. But mediation provides an environment where, you know, if you're willing to do some compromising, you can come out with something that is a little bit more livable. Sometimes. It's not a guarantee, but it's always worth a try. So now that we have the caption of the document filled out, we'll move into the body of the document. This just wants to know who's requesting the mediation and asking for all of your contact information. If there's children involved, you're going to put your relationship with them. So either you would be their parent or other person with court-ordered placement. And if this is an option that you're going to check, and this isn't enough room, you can always just click this box and then write "See attached" and explain your relationship to the children involved in the case on a separate sheet of paper. So next it will say, "I request court-ordered mediation to help resolve the following problems with legal custody and/or physical placement." Usually 2 lines is not going to be enough when it comes down to custody and physical placement. I suggest, if you can't just get it done in 2 sentences, which is highly unlikely, that you just write "See attached" in this gray box, and then write out your story, your narrative on a separate sheet of paper or many sheets of paper, whatever it takes, so that the court has a full understanding of what the issues are and why you're requesting that the court order mediation. Whatever you do, don't alter the form. And I'll probably say this a couple more times before the video is done. Do not alter the form. The form is in a very specific format that makes it acceptable for filing. And if you get fancy with Adobe or add lines or maybe write something, handwrite something on the form that's illegible, you're just going to slow down the process because a bunch of people will be trying to figure out what you want and what you're doing. So it's better to just type it out on a separate sheet of paper if you don't have enough room to explain clearly on the form what you want. Then the form asks you who the other parties are. It can be 1 or more parties. You would give their contact information, and if it's more than 1 other party, for additional parties, see attached. So again, put it on a separate sheet of paper. If you're giving the contact information for a bunch of other parties, I would just put at the top center of the paper, identified parties' contact information, and fill it out to the extent necessary. Next, the court wants to know if there are any concerns for personal safety. So if you think that there is a possibility of abuse or a flight risk, you're going to want to let the court know that, because the court might not order mediation. The court might take a more direct and swift action, depending. And the court also wants to know if there's any pending criminal case involving the parties. So if you and one of the other parties have gotten into it and you're going up in front of a criminal judge in a month, you're going to need to let the family law judge know. Continuing in the same theme, the court wants to know if there's a no contact order. Sometimes people with no contact orders will ask for mediation, even though there's an order in place saying don't contact the other person. So the court's going to want to know that before they order a mediation. So if there's no contact order, that's fine, and you just tell the court that. But if there is a no contact order, you need to tell the court. And if you're the person who the no contact order is against and you're requesting mediation, the court will be able to find out if there's a no contact order. At minimum, the other side will say, hey, I can't do court-ordered mediation. There is a no contact order between us right now. So it's best to just disclose. Just be honest. Again, at the top left-hand corner of the second page, you're going to want to identify the parties. As we discussed earlier, that's to avoid if a sheet goes missing or something. That is to avoid the sheet being lost or put into another case. And again, we've been through this a couple times already in the video. Don't modify the form. If you need more room, that's totally fine. Just put it on a separate sheet of paper. So moving towards the end of the document, there's a few things that the court wants you to understand before you file the document. The court wants you to understand that mediation is not a court hearing, and it's not. If you can get to an agreement, great, but the court still needs to ratify your agreement. The court wants to know that you understand that you might need to file a motion before further court proceedings will be scheduled if you are not able to settle your disagreements in mediation. So you go to mediation because you have one or more issues with physical placement or legal custody. And you and the other person just can't work it out in mediation. Well, the mediator is not going to, be like, hey, judge, they didn't work it out, so you're going to need to have a hearing. No, it will be on you, if your issues are not resolved, to file a motion with the court asking that there be a hearing set to resolve those issues. So you kind of have to stay on top of it. And since you're representing yourself and filling out your own forms, the duty is on you to stay on top of it, to keep everybody informed, to ask for that hearing, to file a motion asking for relief from the court. It doesn't just take care of itself. And the big thing here, and they have it in bold, I understand that I must send a copy of this request to the other parties. So ideally, you have the contact information for the other party. What you need to do is when you have this filled out and filed, because it's going to need a file stamp, you will mail a copy to the other side. And ideally, you will have some kind of proof that you mailed it to the other person, either sending it certified mail or filling out and filing with the court an affidavit of mailing, which is a sworn document saying that you mailed it to the other side. All that's left is to sign and print the signature block with your current contact information. They put a state bar number space in here because sometimes attorneys use these forms, but obviously if you don't have a state bar number, you don't need to put one in there. And you're remembering that you don't need to have this notarized, but you do need to send a copy of this request to the other parties after you filed it. And one final warning, don't modify the form. Use separate sheets of paper, because if you modify the form, they're going to kick it back to you, and you're going to have to do it again. So that is how you fill out a request for court-ordered mediation, otherwise known as Family Law Form FA-4134V. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was of help to you. Feel free to give it a like, and if you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the comments section below. We do try to post new legal content daily, so check back if you're looking for more information. Otherwise, we wish you the very best of luck with your matter and hope that you can reach your legal goals. Thank you again for watching.
Hi again, this is Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law. I hope you enjoyed the video and podcast. If you did, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to our channel. If you need legal help in this or any other area of law, please don't hesitate to reach out to schedule a consultation. Most consultations are free and can be conducted remotely if you'd like. You can email us, book online, or call us at 414-253-2080. That's 414-253-2080. We have many locations for your convenience, and we serve all of Wisconsin. Thanks again for watching.